JJ here. I got Bambinaa Donutt
You're right.
with
Yes.
me.
Bambinaa Donutt.
The Bambinaa Donutt.
Yes, the sweetness of Denver.
Okay, I see. You have to tell me how this name came about later on in this conversation.
I got you. Okay.
But I think this is going to be a great conversation because you have some exciting stuff coming up.
Yes, yes.
Also doing cool stuff, so.
Just the whole thing, you know what I mean? It's been a minute since I came out into these streets, so I think it's definitely about time. I think everybody was getting a sweet tooth, so.
It's that time to come back out.
Yes.
Well, tell the audience a little bit about yourself, what you do, and what you got going on in a near future project, or I'm gonna cut that out.
No, you're totally fine. Yes, I definitely got some fun things coming up here. You know, Pride season is literally here already. The month of June is when all the queers like to come out and play. And like I said, it's definitely been a moment since I've stepped out as Bambinaa. She was definitely hibernating.
And ready to come out.
And yes, Mama's coming out with claws. Even though I don't got my claws on today, she's coming out, all right?
I can't believe it's already almost June.
This year's flying by. It's really going by pretty fast.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy and sad about it. You know what I mean? I love that we are going through this year and things are happening so fast at a really nice pace, but almost at the same time, you can't really just hold on to anything because it's passing, you know?
But it gives you that opportunity to get out and do stuff.
Well, yeah, of course. You know, hot girl summer always. With summer coming around, it's only right for Miss Bambinaa to step on out. I have a lot of people that's been waiting to see me, and I'm excited to see them as well.
Is there a reason why you were hibernating for a bit, or?
Yeah, I think it was more so on a personal journey.
Okay.
I had to take some time for myself, for my loved ones, kind of lock in back what I don't do outside of drag. But after getting my mental stability correct, it's been nothing but a growth, you know. Bits by bits has helped me understand a couple things, understand myself a little bit better, and what direction I want to go into, you know. This year I turned 30, so yeah, this donut is getting up there. She's not near her expiration date though, okay?
Not one of those stale ones that's left in the box in the break
room.
Absolutely not.
Oh no, she has preservatives.
But did the break give you more fire to get your creative juices going? And
I think so. Yeah? I think that was part of the personal growth, you know. For a minute, I was doing a lot of drag back to back.
Yeah.
I was doing a lot of things outside of, you know, the queer community, and I felt like it was really hard to just kind of juggle it all in the capacity that I wanted to, and I felt comfortable in. So with me taking that step back, it was definitely nice to get a breath of fresh air, and now coming back into it, it almost feels like nothing has even changed. No time has passed. But I'm excited to see all the new and meet all the new entertainers. You know, there's so many new entertainers since I've stopped being in these streets. And with that being said, like, you know, everybody brings something different to the table, and I can't wait to see work with all these new people that are into the community now. And it's nice to see all the old friends as well. So.
Yeah, it's almost kind of like a reunion.
A little bit, yeah.
But
it will be. I got some gigs next month where I'll be hanging out and performing and working with a couple entertainers that I've known for the last couple years. So I'm excited to get back into that with them and Kiki and all that good stuff. But for the most part, I'm excited.
So now going back or going into your new version of you, versus what you did before, it sounded like you were working or doing so many shows that it maybe kind of just ran you into the ground. What do you want to bring to the table this time versus what you did before?
I don't know if I was like just working too many gigs or anything like that. I just think that life caught up with me.
Yeah.
I feel like it was a moment where I just felt like there was so much going on that I didn't have time to process anything. It was just one look after the next, one hairstyle after the next. I, for a little bit, was, you know, taking commissions to make people wigs and things of that nature. And it was just like I was always on that hustle. Always, you know, I was doing hustling outside of drag. I was hustling inside of drag. And it was like a hustle game. And I loved it, don't get me wrong. I just feel like I didn't really get to enjoy life the way I wanted to. It was just my passion turned into work, which it happens for a lot of queens, a lot of kings, a lot of people who are out here that are entertainers. You end up making a hobby into a job, and then you're putting yourself into these, you know, predicaments where now you have to do this. And
Yeah.
drag for me was always an outlet in my expression, and I feel like I wasn't able to enjoy the expression anymore because I was so monetarily focused, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's almost like you're instituting it, right?
Exactly. And I didn't want drag to become that for me. And I
Yeah.
give homage to all the queens, the kings and things that do that, that needs that. But that's just, I like to do it because I really love what my drag brings to people's lives and how they interact with myself. And I feel like that's kind of why I'm like, okay, I'm doing this so much just for monetary reasons. I'm taking these gigs, I'm working with these people. But at the end of the day, is this really what I need or we want to do? So I feel like this little break was something that I definitely needed. It wasn't too long, and that's why I'm back.
Well, well, it's funny how well, I don't know if it's not funny, but you had the sense to go, whoa, I gotta, is this what I want to do? And I gotta look at this and see what's going on. Where other people will just keep going and going and going, and then they lose the passion, and then all of a sudden they're just hating life. But what was it
Yes.
in you to where I got to take a break? Did you have like friends or family to kind of, hey, maybe
No,
no,
I'm very
no,
supported by all my family,
yeah,
by all my close friends. They love to come out and see my gigs. They
yeah,
loved. It was just like a really big social networking, kind of vibe. Like I would be social networking people that I would know. They would bring in their crowd, and it was really really good. I
yeah,
think the biggest thing for me was just that I wasn't spending the time that I wanted with myself or with my loved ones, especially my fiance.
yeah.
So it's just something that I just like was like, all right, I'm gonna chill out for a little bit.
And
But
that's okay. You got to give
yeah,
yourself some grace. You know.
exactly. And it's so easy to forget that. It's easy to forget about number one. Like, you do all these things for people, you're putting
Yeah.
smiles on all these faces, you're doing all these things, having amazing performances. But at the end of the day, like, you gotta remember to keep yourself happy as well. And I think that was the biggest thing for me. I was just like, I don't have an obligation to keep doing this. And I want to go ahead and take this moment of hibernation and
Isn't
have
that
some
kind of
fun.
funny how we kind of put ourselves in those like cages?
Yes, it's so easy to,
Yeah.
JJ, because you are able to see, a tunnel vision at a certain point in time, but it's not always, the big picture.
Right.
And when you look at the big picture, you take that step back, you're like, oh, that isn't necessary. Or this is necessary.
Yeah.
Maybe this is more necessary than that. Or maybe that's not as necessary as this.
And
It
so
goes either
and
ways.
and sometimes you just let things fall and
Yes,
be
and,
like,
and figure it out and see what happens,
yeah,
Fuck around and find out.
yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much where I kind of reside with my little laps in the
Yeah.
community and things of that nature. I try to commute and go support what I could for follow queens and things and all that stuff shows, and I made my pop up appearance from time to time, but I don't think that I was able to actually be mentally motivated enough to actually want to step on out like I currently am. And
Yeah.
like we discussed, I got some things coming up next month. I will be hosting a show here at Sorry Gorgeous, which is really, really exciting. Got some other things in the pipeline as well for the rest of the Pride. And yeah, and then we're only 6 months down, so we still got 6 months to go in 2026, and we'll see what
Well,
happens.
you know how the summers are in Denver. They're just nonstop. So,
Yes, and you know what? I'm here for it. I think I got my rest in. My ankles have healed enough.
so in your break, what did you get to reflect on for Bambina Donut and what was it like before that?
I think my main thing was putting a little bit more oomph into what I love to do, spend a little bit more time on the creativity side and enjoying it, because it's one thing when you get up and you're like hungover from the night before and you got brunch and you're tired as fuck and you just throw on a beat, right?
Yeah.
You throw on your face and sometimes it just doesn't look as good. Or maybe, you're just so busy running around all day and then you got the gig at the end of the night or later in the evening and you're just not really putting in the effort into it. And so it's just like, I think for me it was just like, I could throw a beat down and I could put it on and I need to do that every single time.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was like the main thing for me was just like give myself that love, because I love doing makeup. I love the transition of Donovan into Bambinaa, because Donovan likes to rock a beard, very clean cut, very fresh. Bambinaa is like very bright, very this. Even though I look very, very gothic today, I feel like I did very dark eyes and very, very. My pink is the brightest
But you're
thing
but
on.
you're very but you're very vibrant though.
Yes, yes. Usually I really am. And I feel like that's just something I'm just like, okay, girl, like, just give yourself the extra time.
Hmm.
Put other shit to the side because it's worth it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, I'm known for my face, in Denver. Literally, I am known for the mug. She stays beat. And I feel like the main thing about my transition from Donovan into Bambina is the process in the makeup. I know a lot of the entertainers that I work with, like I always get paraded for it, and I'm like, that's what I really love. That's like my stamp. I do my face very, very
Yeah.
delicately and beautifully, and something I admire about myself.
Well, that's an art form on its own. And how long did it take to get there? And there has to be like bloopers, right?
Yeah, I have my beginning days, and I have even recent days where I'm like, "Girl, what was you
You're like,
doing?" I look at my camera roll, and I'm just like, "What is this? Who is she?" But I think that's anybody. Everybody
Yeah.
has a good day. Everybody has a bad day, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say I'm never gonna have another bad day. I'm not gonna say I'm never gonna be able to not do what I can possibly do, but she ain't never gonna look ugly.
Watch out. And how did Bambina Donut come about?
That's like so many different like answers for that one
Yeah.
little question. It's crazy because Bambina Donut, the name of Bambina Donut, where does Bambina come
Yeah.
from?
It's
So originally, like, very young little boy, my father would always call me Bambino, and my father is a very, very artistic artist. He paints in his free time. It's his hobby, and that's kind of how I got into painting my face.
yeah. I was
I
gonna
would
say.
paint canvases. I would paint paintings, and I was very always crafty as a child. So I just kind of took that and embodied that name and just kind of feminized it with Bambina instead of
Mm.
Bambino. And then Dona, that one is really, really cute because Dona is almost like Donovan. Like, what I mean?
Ah.
It's very, very similar in the sense if you say it with like a Hispanic accent, because I'm Afro Latino and I have Latin family. Even my suegros, they are Latin, and they would always say like Dona, like, for short instead of Donovan.
Yeah.
And so that kind of was like really catchy to me, and then I just kind of put it together.
That's
You know what I
interesting how
mean?
they.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and to me, it just like was like smooth up the tongue, like Bambina Dona, and so like the name of it is like has nothing to, like, usually, and this is totally fine. Like a lot of artists, they go for like very funny or they play on words or something like that, and that's cute and all that stuff. But I feel like that name is very genuine to me. It's not very try hardish, like you're trying to be funny or you're trying to
Yeah.
be seductive. You're not trying to do anything. It was very authentic to me, and if I feel like it fits me.
Would you say there's like some sentiment to it too? And
Yeah,
yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I
'Cause-
think it really just like I said, it's so down to earth when it comes to me as an individual that only for my outlet of art, it has to be
Yeah.
that name, and so that's why I was just like, Bambinaa Donutt, and from I started to currently,
Yeah.
and I've been doing drag for almost like 6 years now. So it's something I never wanted to change. I never thought about it, never wanted to think about it. It's something that I very hold closely.
I think the beauty of it too is you're see if this is a fair statement. You're honoring like your family,
Yeah.
and kind of your heritage, and you're bringing it a new layer to it. You know.
It really is that. It's all that and then some, you
Yeah.
know. It's coming from love, you know. And me, I'm very blessed to say I'm loved by my family. I'm very blessed to say that I have individuals that accept me for what I am and who I am and what I want to be. So, yeah, it's definitely very sentimental, I guess.
So we got a little bit of your background of how you came about. When was your first show, or did you want to put on a show, like going into all this?
Yeah, so the time from when I started wanting to perform and the time that I actually started performing and actually producing, there's like three different moments, right? The first time I would say that I knew I wanted to perform was probably back in COVID area, uh, 2020. You know, everything got shut down. So there was a lot of fucking finding things to do. You know, I would play with makeup. I would
Yeah.
do more makeup as Donovan, as like, you know, just like boy glam, things of that nature, which is really fun. Then, you know, watching RuPaul's and all that shit, I was like, ooh, like I could beat a face down. Which very first beat in drag, absolutely not. Who let me use makeup? It's like I knew all my makeup things like that I knew how to do just went out the door.
Yep.
um, so I feel like that 2020 era, just kind of going into COVID, lockdown, just like finding things to do and
Yeah.
just like I said, fucking around and finding out. You know, playing around. Got some shit off of Amazon. Put on the wig, did the beat, and I was like, oh wait, I think I got some potential. I was just like, who is she?
Wait, before leading up to COVID, was it always in the back of your mind, but you just never had an opportunity to start?
I've always had a feminine side,
Yeah.
but I didn't know that side.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually kind of crazy. When I first came out, you know, into my gay self, I was 20 years old. Um, Before that, I lived a straight life. You know, I lived as a straight man, dated women, all those things. And so when I finally came out to myself and I came out to my friends and my family, it was all very fast.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how comfortable I was with my feminine side because I was never comfortable with it prior. So it was a very big kind of like oof.
Yeah.
And at first, I didn't really even care for, you know, people that lived this life, people who did drag, people who were like extra feminine and extra everything, you know, like as a drag queen, extra is your middle name, you know?
Like you didn't even look at it, right?
And I didn't,
Yeah.
you know, if anything, I ignored that bitch on
Yeah.
the side of the street. I can't walk it.
Just like
Seriously, it's crazy because I never really seen myself as that person, and so that's why I feel like when I got into it, I really got into it because I was just like, this is a whole new world. This is something I never experienced before. This was fun. This is new,
yeah.
exciting. Like, you know, all the things. And it was almost like an adrenaline rush. And what made me kind of catapult into it and trying to figure out who is Bambina? What is her style? You know, is this a funny queen? Is this a fucking a high glam? Whatever the fuck it is, like, what is she? And I feel like that was like a big part of coming into this person that I now represent and that I embody. Um, and I kind of feel like it was a learning area. Like, you know, I felt like I was crawling all over again because it was a new territory I'd never been in before.
Well, that's got to be a lot to deal with at that age. Well, like when you said you were 20,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
then you're on this journey, right, to figure it out.
yeah, I mean, like, let's see what. That was years ago now. It's been so long, you know, and so I'm trying to like think back that I I wasn't really okay with any of that, and I didn't know how to get into it, but but really just try to understand.
Yeah.
And like I said, it was something I never done before. Dating guys was like super duper fresh, and um, like even the guy, like the very first guy I ever dated, like you know, what I mean, it was he had mentioned to me that he had did drag or tried drag and things of that before, and I was just like I don't know how about that, like you know what I mean, like and it's
Yeah.
crazy now in my day and age, like I have a whole ass man that loves and respects me and all that good stuff, and I'm so happy and blessed for that. But I was on the other fence of that, like not understanding, not willing or wanting to.
Yeah.
So for me to go through the steps and go through everything and kind of look at it from like a full circles perspective, I kind of like, damn, like I want to give myself the backhand because like, who are you, bitch? Like, like I said, there was a lot of personal growth that I was
Yeah.
going through at that time, and so I just didn't really think that I understood that, and for me to kind of go from that kind of mindset and not really wanting to appreciate people who had that love for that, now to being the person on the other side that loves everything about it, loves what it stands for, loves what it represents, it was really life altering and eye opening for sure.
When you were exploring yourself, like like in that world, did you think you already knew what that world was like? To where that's why you were just like whatever, just ignoring everybody.
I think so, a little
Yeah.
bit, yeah, because because the way I think about it now is just like back then I was just like whatever, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you do what you want, but like that's not something I want to be around. That's not something I want to deal with.
Yeah.
Um, and I was totally judging a book by its cover. I never once lived a life. I had been maybe to one gay bar before, and it wasn't even a good one. I can't even remember
No
the name of
names.
it. I
No, I'm
can't
just
even
kidding.
I
No,
can't even
no.
remember the name of it to be honest. But like it was really crazy because it wasn't something that I ever even
Yeah.
I judged a book by a cover, and then I didn't even know what I was judging. And then I finally I started dabbling into it. I started going to more of the gay bars, started meeting more of the queer community, meeting more of the drag queens, drag
Yeah.
kings, and things, and all the thing between. And I was like, damn, there's so many cool people out here, talented people, fucking sickening people. And I was like, this is badass. Like, these are the people I want to roll with because, for one, they all look fucking fantastic. For two, they seem happy in the life that they're living. Three, they get to explore their creativity in every single aspect by the way that they present themselves, by the way
Yeah.
that they dress, by the way that they perform, or they talk, or they host, or they sing, or whatever. And everybody's different, you
And
know?
and they're just being who they are.
Yes, or who they want to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like that was like the biggest thing for me is that like I didn't know who I wanted to be after finding out all those things. You know, I'm like, well, things need to change, and I kind of changed the way I thought, changed the way how I lived, and I started exploring my feminine side because it was like I said, I never had that opportunity to do that before, and so I feel like it was really really fun. It was fun to learn who I
Yeah.
wanted to be, and it was fun finding out who wanted to join me on that journey. I lost a lot of people in my life, JJ, family, friends, just because they don't understand where I come from, and that's okay. You know,
Yeah.
not everybody's gonna be with you for your journey, the whole journey. They're only there to help you learn what's next. I feel like some people.
It's interesting you say that because you're trying to figure out who you are, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't even know who they are. Doesn't matter if gay, straight, whatever. They just need to. I think as an individual, you have to figure out what do you like, where are you trying to go, and what's your reason, right, to be here.
Yeah.
And I don't know, for people to judge other people, and I mean, we're all trying to get to the same place.
Well, everybody's like gonna have some shit to talk. It's like assholes. Everybody got one.
Yeah, I know, right? but if you were gonna give your 20-year-old self some advice from what you know now, what would you tell him?
For one, save those stimulus checks.
Did you buy the Louis?
No, actually, I used it well. I bought Patron. So no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I feel like I definitely would tell myself, take your time and love yourself. You know, this is like it was a really big moment for me to really have this realization and all that stuff. And I feel like maybe there's a lot of things that I didn't process 100% at that time. And I feel like if I were to go back to my younger self and be like, hey, look at it from this perspective so you could try to see things differently. Because I don't feel like I did the best job at loving myself during the transitional phase, and relearning how to live daily life and how to have relationships and how to, regardless of it's like, personal relationships, family relationships, friend relationships. Um, I just don't feel like it kind of boiled down in the way that is the best way possible. I feel like it happened the way it needed to, but I don't think that I gave myself grace, as you said earlier.
I think sometimes when you start something, it's just gonna be messy, right? Because we don't know.
It's like a hot pot on the stove, JJ.
Why's it gotta be hot pot? No, I'm just kidding. but
Cancel.
but why did you not love yourself enough? Was it stemming before this change in lifestyle, or was it just something that's been lingering? Like,
I don't know. I don't think that I didn't love myself. Maybe it just wasn't 100% truthful to myself. And maybe that's why I feel like maybe it took so long. Or maybe it wasn't like I wasn't looking for that kind of answer previously.
Was it kind of something scary to ask the question to where you might get answers that you have to face?
Maybe. Now in retrospect, yeah, maybe that was a big one. Because, the thing is that, like, I grew up dating females, and like I don't have a lot of queer people in my family, at least not that I know of. I don't fucking know, you know what I mean? And so like I just didn't really have that representation growing up. I knew of gay people, I knew gay people, but I didn't have an upbringing of that. It was like something that was promoted or advocated for, or it wasn't, highly accepted.
Yeah.
It wasn't that it wasn't accepted. It was just like the vibes of my family, like if you're gay, just don't be gay around me, kind of vibe. You know what I mean? And I feel like maybe that has something to do with it, but I don't know. It could be from anywhere. It could just be like it was just a new life, and I just didn't know how to function yet. Like I said, I felt like a newborn baby. I was crawling into the gay world, into all these gay bars, and I only knew of going into these straight bars before and how straight people act. And when you go into a gay space and you're gay, or you're opening yourself up to it, is totally different.
It's like your
The
world
culture,
is flipped, huh?
the culture is very different. You know what I mean? Everybody is really, really normally. You get some ugly people out there, but normally, a lot of the queer spaces are open, friendly. There's so many people there that you aren't upheld to a certain standard. I mean, you go out and you can see some of these catty bitches still. Don't get me wrong.
There's always one or two,
Yeah, but for the most part, it was like really, really fun and fresh. And so I'm like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, what have I been missing out on? So I feel like maybe that was a little bit, I don't know.
With this resurgence of yourself, is there something that you didn't get a chance to do before that you're exploring now, or?
Well, now that I'm just trying to fucking clack, all down these fucking runways and shit. As an old ass woman, I'm 30 years old, JJ. You know how old that is in gay years?
We'll get you one of those grocery store
Please
things.
do. I need me an old lady car. But no, like, you know what I mean? I just feel like if I would have found myself a lot sooner, which, like I said, everything happens for the reason that it did, the way it was supposed to. I probably would have never met my current fiance, who I love very much. I wouldn't have the people in my life that I currently have. So I'm very content at where I'm at and what happened. But if I could just go back to my old self, I'd be like, get into it. Yeah, you know what I mean? Don't be scared. Like, just like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of time passed because I was still trying to figure things
Yeah.
out. And that's could have been time that I was,
But you didn't know that.
no, of course not. But that's what I'm saying. If I could go back in time.
Well, you have some shows coming up, right?
Correct. I do.
So what flavor are you gonna bring this go around?
Oof.
So
She's gonna be well seasoned.
watch out.
I had that Old Bay for this Old Bay. No, I think this Pride season, what I'm really excited about bringing to the forefront is fresh, fresh looks put together. Bringing out some new numbers, some new mixes.
Wait, hold on. So do you put the looks together too?
Sometimes.
Okay.
So I buy online, and then I do all my own stoning. I might force my man to help me from time to time, but I do all my own wigs.
Wow.
Yeah, and then like I said, I'll pull out the sewing machine from time to time. I get a little comfy when I want to, if I gotta make some alterations here and there. But for the main part, I do my hair, I do my makeup, I put my outfits together. I really didn't have anybody to kind of show me the ropes.
Yeah.
Everything that I do in my current life as Bambinaa is something that I've had to learn by myself. Kind of going back to your previous question, a couple questions ago that I never got to, I'm sorry. Coming in to the drag performing realm is I knew it through one of my family members' friends. They did drag at the time. They were looking for somebody to do a benefit show. A benefit show is when you go perform for free, and you may collect tips, or you might donate your tips at the end of the gig. Kind of depends what the vibes are. Everyone is a little bit different, but they found out that I was doing drag, or trying to do drag.
You're getting out there.
I was getting out there. I bought an Amazon wig. I got a cute little outfit from Ross. You know what I mean? I was doing what I could at the time, and they had found out that I was trying to get into it. And so they're like, oh, the perfect opportunity is to come out for this benefit show. You'll meet you'll meet entertainers, preferably usually people who do benefit shows are people who are just trying to get seen.
Right. Yeah.
They're not doing it for the money. They're not doing it for anything. But you might get a drink ticket or two. Maybe you might get a free meal from the bar or the restaurant, wherever it's at. But you go out to these benefit gigs just looking for exposure, essentially. Give people your social media, and you get them, and hopefully they reach out to you if you're that good, right? So homegirl, she asked me if I want to go be part of her gig. And I was like, hell yeah, oh my God, this is what I've been waiting for. I didn't know anybody else in the community at the time. And so I was so excited. Figure out how to download music, transferring it from YouTube onto MP3 Vibe, which, oh my gosh, that was a whole process in its own. It took me back to my LimeWire days. You ever had LimeWire?
I remember. Yeah, where you could share the files. And
yes.
All that, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it was very that. I am that old.
I'm right behind you.
But so learning how to do your own music, learning how to send it through Gmail, having to set all that good stuff up. Then actually going into the gig and then feeling confident to fucking go out in front of all these people you never met before, never seen before, and they're gonna judge you.
Wait, where do you practice? Do you just practice at home, or?
Okay, so a little secret that I have: to break in your heels, you gotta clean your house. You gotta wear them while you clean your house.
While you clean the house.
Yes. When you're vacuuming, you're back and forth, you're scrouching, you're popping up, you're scrouching, you start mopping, you gotta scrub some things. That's how you break in your heels, and then you listen to your music as you're doing that, and then you do a couple spins as you're vacuuming.
And you're vibing, and then your neighbor's like, what?
Yeah, exactly. Damn, this bitch got tongs. But for the main part of it, it's just where you can. There's people who rent out dance studios. There's people that do it in their homes. For me, it's wherever I can. I'll do it at my home. I'll go into the gym. If I can get a rented out, dance studio, I definitely will. I'll go to a rec center that has a dance studio portion in it. You just kind of go where you can. I
Yeah.
don't have a specific place. Like I said, I do it all. Whatever I could get my hands on. Um,
But you gotta get it in though.
you
Yeah,
have
you have
to.
to.
Don't you dare sign people up to come and watch you, and then you look like shit.
Well, there's so many layers to this. You got to know your routine. You got to make sure you're doing your hair right, your makeup right.
Yeah,
Like,
the worst thing is when your wig falls off, and
oh,
it does, and it's happened
oh, yep.
multiple times. Listen, okay, I feel like if your wig falls off in the beginning of the show, you fucked up. If your wig falls off in the towards the end, after you're like already did two performances and this is your third act, and your ass is sweaty because the thing about the wig adhesive, if you don't use the right one, that shit will start slipping with your head sweat.
Woo.
Or your head is like really hot because you're
Yeah.
moving around, so it's generating heat, so the adhesive is not sticking correctly. But
Yep.
still, you still fucked up.
It's got to be interesting learning all these things.
Well, yeah, nobody showed me the ropes.
Yeah.
A lot of the entertainers in the town, they come from like a family, or they reach out to families so that they can, you know, get learning tips. They have a popular name to put beside their name so
Yeah.
that they get more visibility and they get more opportunities to get hosted in shows. I don't have none of that.
You're just there.
I chose not to purposely. I didn't want
Mm,
to surround myself with another name that has
yeah.
previous,
You wanted to make a name up for yourself.
and I have,
But yeah.
and
But,
I have JJ.
but to put yourself in the the reps of not knowing and failing and you're literally you do your craft like from the clothes to the hair to the makeup. I don't know how many people would want to do that, right?
It's expensive
Yeah.
and it's tiring and it's time consuming.
But it's amazing though.
It's fun,
yeah.
but that's like the thing that I love about it. Like you put so much heart and soul, blood, sweat, and tears.
Like literally.
Literally, you know how many times I poked myself with the needles or glued my fingers together or something. It's really, really hard to comprehend how much work you put into like a 5-minute song. Some songs are not like a 5-minute performance. Some performances are not even 5 minutes; they're 3 minutes.
Right.
And you're like styling for 3 days this gorgeous wig, or you're gluing this one outfit. But the thing is the idea is you put all this work in and then you can
Yeah.
reuse it after, right? But if like you're only doing this for this one gig and you don't have no more gigs for this month.
That's
You
it.
just spent 3 weeks worth of time,
Yeah.
effort, blood, and sweat, tears, money into a performance. And let's say, it's not a poppin' show. You make $10 in tips and you get 2 drink tickets, and you know what I mean? And
You're
you
just
didn't get a booking fee, and now your ass is like, oh, well, it was fun. Get some good pictures, bitch.
No.
And it happens, and that's okay too. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like I said, I don't do it just for the money. Like, and that's kind of why, going back to the beginning of our conversation, when you start looking at it from a standpoint like that, you're monitoring it,
Yeah.
and it's no longer you're doing it because you just want to. You're doing it because you have to either keep up with yourself or to keep money
Yeah.
coming in. Some of these entertainers out here, they don't have a day job. I'm very blessed that I have the opportunity to have that. There's a lot of people that don't have the opportunity, and this is their bread and butter. This is how they make money. This is how they keep themselves employed. This is how they keep themselves fed. This is whatever. And I was getting to a point like that too, where I was just like, well, I gotta make it to this gig. If I get $20, like that's gonna give me gas for. Back then, this is gonna give me gas for a couple days, if not a week, if it's enough. Like but sometimes you're like driving super far to the gig, and half the money you make at the gig is going back into your tank to get back home. You might be able to stop at McDonald's, but that's maybe.
But it's like you have to see that, right?
Yeah,
and feel it and
it's okay too. You know what I mean? It's part of the gig. Nothing is for sure. It's a form of hospitality. There's not one certain way that it's always gonna go. Yes, you could rinse and repeat. Yes, you can do it over again like you did previously, but the turnout, you don't know who's coming with a stack of ones, or you don't know who's coming just to come and to hang out or enjoy a show. Um, which there's people who I've had in my audiences that are like, I didn't know I needed this. Thank you so much for doing what you do. And me, like, it was just another Tuesday, you know?
Yeah.
I was doing what I always did. And it was a rinse and repeat moment for me. But I really connected with somebody, or I did something for somebody. And that is what makes me love this kind of work. Is you don't know what somebody's going through in life. And you could just be having fun and doing like me, like I'm just like having fun, talking shit on the microphone, and people are like, "You made my fucking day."
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's really what I'm so excited to get back to. I'm like so excited to get back to that because I know in my day to day life I do that for certain people, but it's so different when it's like a drag queen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She got the hair, she got the makeup, she got the looks, and da 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 da, and it's like all glamified. But at the end of the day, you're really making changes on people's lives. You're really out here helping somebody mentally, physically, giving them a brief form of entertainment so that they can want to come back and see you again.
Yeah. They're coming here to see you, and you got to show up.
Well, yeah, like you said, like, do I ever just go out? Absolutely not. Like, you gotta practice this shit.
Yeah.
You have to have your things locked in, JJ.
Yep.
Because if not, then it's like you're wasting people's time.
Yeah. It's like, what's the point? You got to take
Yeah.
it seriously, right?
Yeah, sometimes you do, and sometimes you have fun with it too. But at the end of the day, like you don't want to play with people's money.
Yeah.
If they're playing for a show, you should definitely be rehearsing in some form. Know your fucking words. That's the biggest. And this kind of work is, don't come out here. Oh no, because you could tell,
Yeah.
and you'll get clocked. Speaking of getting clocked, though. Never mind, I don't want to say that. Let me stop.
In this world and industry that you're in, I think to connect with people, you have to be yourself.
I think if I'm not myself, then who am I? You know, I have to genuinely be me. I feel like Bambina's a little bit more, not edgier, but she doesn't have a filter. You know, as
Well,
much as I would
yeah.
outside of drag, I feel like Bambina, I let her loose. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I let her say what she wants. I let her, you know, because I feel like it's the best thing about my drag persona. Bambina is gonna tell you how she feels, what it is, and don't beat around the bush. You know, and I feel like that is just who I strive to be every day. You know, of course, in my day to day life, I gotta be professional. I gotta hold things up. I gotta be a certain. I have to be professional. That's like,
Right.
you know, bottom line. Bambina, she is very professional, hands down, boots down. But I feel like if I can't be myself in my truest form or my truest outlet of entertain or creativity, then what would I be? You know, I hate tryhards. You know, that's like the worst for me as a tryhard person. If you don't know what a tryhard person is, it's when they try hard. uh, I just think that being genuine and being very like cunning and like very sassy, but in a funny way. You know what I mean? Not sassy in a bitchy way.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I'm not messing with Bambina. She knows what she's doing.
She thinks she does, and she better, and she
Yeah.
looks like she does too. So.
But I bet you people are probably like, she's a bitch sometimes, but she puts on a show and gets it done.
Period.
Right?
No, I honestly
you can't hate on that.
dead ass. No, like dead ass. I don't. I'm not gonna say that nobody probably doesn't like me, but a majority of the people that I work with, I feel like I have a really good,
Yeah.
you know,
But you can't please everybody.
relationship. No, you can't.
Yeah.
And you will make people upset, and people will be haters.
Yeah.
And that's totally fine. If I'm not getting hated on, I'm not doing something right. You know what I mean? But I feel like at the end of the day, that it's so easy to put on, you know, the makeup, the wig, and all that stuff. And I feel like that is a reason for people to act a certain way,
Yeah.
like, you know, in a negative aspect, because you're not essentially yourself. For me, I just fit a little bit more outlandish. I'll say a little bit more like, funnier jokes, maybe even play into the little bit more naughtier jokes. Definitely do that. And Bambina, she's funny, she's cunning, she's sassy, she's all that stuff. But I'm so genuine. At the end of the day, everybody that I've worked with, I've had a genuine connection with them at one point in time. There's a couple people that I work with in the past I probably won't want to work with in the future.
Yeah.
That I know I won't work with them in the future.
But that's
And
your
that's
choice.
fine.
It's okay.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and that's totally fine. I'm not gonna say that every relationship that I've ever made as Bambina is a great one, but a majority of them, I have really, really good people that I've worked with, performed next to, and all that good stuff that I can have nothing bad to say. And I'm pretty sure, I hope, that they can say the same.
But
But if not, it's totally fine.
isn't it interesting? Like everything we do, right, builds around relationships or just some sort of connection.
Yes, in my day life, in my night life, I am a people person all the way around. I love people. I'm great at people,
Yeah.
I could connect with anybody. And I feel like that's what really makes me really great at what I do. I can talk to somebody that I've never seen in my life before and have a really good conversation. But that's like anything. If I put a little bit of effort into anything that I do, it'll come out really well if I wanted to.
Yeah.
There's people that I've talked to and I met, and I'm just like, I don't want to continue this conversation, and it's known. You know what I mean? I'll keep it short and cute,
Yeah.
and that's it. But
And that's okay too. You just keep moving.
oh yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be disrespectful. That's one
Right.
thing I am not.
Yeah.
I am not disrespectful. I will tell a bitch what needs to be said, and I'll stand for what I believe in. But I am not a person that sparks evil energy. That
Yeah.
will not be malicious and purposefully. Um, I believe in karma, and karma believes in me.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you put out in this world is what you get. So
And people can feel that.
I would hope so. I don't know.
The people that have the bad energy, I don't know how they sleep at night because they know what they're doing.
That's something that as a human, like not even like drag, non-drag, is something that is so challenging, to understand that people are gonna do what they want.
Yeah.
They're gonna treat you a certain way regardless of how you feel, regardless of how you want them to treat you. I was very much raised on the fact, treat people how you want to be treated, and I feel like somebody's mama did not tell them that.
Someone didn't get spanked.
Yes.
Someone didn't get a chancla thrown at them.
And that's when I just say some people's kids. Some people's kids, you know what I mean? Like they just be outlandish,
Yeah.
and not even in a good way.
But it takes too much effort to do that. Like it doesn't take much to be kind, and it goes such a long way.
Yeah, I agree. I think, and I love to be kind because I have a great smile. You know what I mean?
Any excuse to get you to smile.
I smile, and that's what I'm known for. My beautiful smile, my beautiful beat,
Well, you
and
got a
all
little
that.
something right here. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm done. I'm at home.
You know, it'd be funny if what if you just had an episode of you just doing your day to day in Bambina, and just interact with people.
Well, the first 5 episodes of that season would be me getting ready before Bambina comes out. Okay, because
Everyone's
it takes
waiting,
time.
like-
It takes time. Yeah, like I would. It's so crazy. I always think about it because me and my man, we watch reality TV
Yeah.
and all those things, and it's like, if I were to ever be on that show, like RuPaul's, like I know that they like cut the fuck out of those shows and da 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 da, but like the whole process from start to finish, and I know that there's people that could get it done really quick. That's just how the homophobic of that phone.
Who call it? Who that is? No.
Nobody's home. This is just gonna be mood now. No audio, just straight faces.
Oh, you don't want this face.
Oh, come on. Post. It really takes a lot of time and effort for, like I said, a 3-minute song that you're performing. And I know that not everybody is like a live dancer performer. Some people are vocalists. Some people burlesque, some people do, stand-up comedy, and every little thing is different, but it takes time to prepare for all that.
Yeah.
And me, I feel like I mentioned earlier, that's my favorite part of it is the transition and the getting up, the hype of like, oh, I'm about to jewel the fuck out of this outfit, and it's about to be sickening. You know what I mean? Like I love that part. Sometimes I get irritated about that shit, and I hate doing it, but I love it at the same time. It's such a weird experience.
No, but I think that's the beauty of it is if you do love that part, you're gonna love it even more and do better more. You know.
When all your hard work shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you get to put your stamp on it. That's,
Period.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite things. Stamping.
So before we go, your event's coming up in June.
Correct, it is.
When is that?
It is on June 7th, the very first Sunday of Pride Month. So, if you are free, and if you all are free, please make your way to Sorry Gorgeous on the 7th for D.U.S.K, Dancing Under Sunset Queendom. It is a very, very, very fun drag show. It's going to be the second one that I'm having here at Sorry Gorgeous. And I can't wait. Our theme this year is going to be Sunset Me Down. So, sunset everything, any and all things. So, we want those dreamy, glowy kind of vibes. We want the guests to show up in similar attire so we can all have fun with it. Something that sparkle as the sun goes down.
So I'm guessing it's around dusk, right?
I think so. It's going to be an 8 p.m. show. Doors are at 7. So get here at 7 o'clock if you want to get a little welcome toast. I'm going to be Papa Salalier. It's going to be a nice little fun moment. I got one of those big bras. But I can't wait to have everybody come and join. It's going to be our Pride Kickoff party. It's going to be my Pride Kickoff as well. This is my first gig of the month. I do got some other gigs as well. Be featured over there on Loveland Pride. I am also working with Misfits at the end of the month. I might be working on main stage with them. And then, I got some other trickling in. I'll be making a stop in Colorado Springs as well for their Pride on the 13th. I got some plans all in the works, and Bambinaa's gonna be coming out to give her sweetness.
Can you give us a preview of maybe some of your outfits or any themes you're going with?
Absolutely not.
No, come on.
You gotta show up, baby.
You gotta
show up, okay?
I see how you do it.
Bambinaa likes a reveal. Nah, I do got some good outfits lined up. Like I said, she's coming back fierce this Pride. And I'm excited, just to get back in front of the people, get back into the glam, get back into the gig, and just truck it through all summer, June is, like I said, we're only in month 6. We still got 6 months left to go in 2026, and I'm about to wreak some havoc, okay? This Friday gonna be boiling with donuts.
So if you're going around the house cleaning with your heels on, you're getting the reps in, right?
Period. And my house is clean.
Watch out.
It's a double win.
Well, thank you for the time.
JJ,
Yeah.
how long have we been waiting to do this? Like, we've known each other for what, 2 years?
2 years?
Yeah, 2 years.
And
we just couldn't make it happen.
I know. I think we were talking about this before even your first show.
You're right.
The first show here. So
last June.
Yeah.
So it's already been over a year since we tried to originally set a date.
But you do have a busy schedule, though.
I have a busy schedule in my day life, but at the same time, like, I was still in my little mental break, and I didn't have the motivation. You know what I mean? I feel like it just wasn't there yet. I wasn't there mentally yet, where I'm like, I want to go out. I want to sit down as Bambinaa, have these kind of talks and things like that. And I appreciate you for wanting to make the time and take the time to have this conversation with me. I've had a lot of fun, and I've had a lot of reminiscing. I feel like I took a trip down memory lane, and there's still so much more that we didn't even get to touch on. But maybe they'll be around too.
They'll be around too, and we got to tune in. And people, and that's the thing. You never know. Everyone's doing, or somebody's doing something cool or something interesting, and you're literally a neighbor up on the 12th floor, and it's like, oh, like, we should sit down and talk about this. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes I forget how cool I am.
I think we could we'll just leave it at that, right?
No, in all seriousness, I love what you do, and I'm so excited for what you have coming out for the rest of the year as well with your podcast. And I think that it's a nice side outside of what we normally
I
talk
know.
about. You know what I mean?
I know it's nice to sit down and just like actually chat.
And enjoy
Yeah.
yourselves. You know, enjoy each other because we have never gotten an
No,
opportunity
we're
to.
always running around.
Literally, you're going this way, I'm going that way.
Yep.
We say hi, bye. Here's your old fashioned.